This isn't the most exciting bit about it. We're gonna talk about it in a second. Hey guys, there is a new ZigBee and Z-Wave in-wall no-neutral switch in town, and I've got all the details and we're gonna be talking about it. But first I have to address one thing. Now, before you're gonna accuse me of clickbaiting you into watching this video, this is just a sub-module. It means that the actual device uses a second part, the regular relay switch, that you have to install as well. So, now that I've got this explained and you don't feel like you are being clickbait, carry on watching, because there is something really interesting about this ecosystem. First, it's called Evvr. And I hate those things because I never know how to pronounce it. Is it Evvr? Is it Evvr? I'm gonna call it Evvr, because why not? If they have a problem with it, well, they're gonna email me for sure. So today we are talking about Evvr Smart Switch, which comes for your in-wall switches, and it's available in 2 modules. It means that you can actually pick whether you're gonna just need a smart relay, which won't support the wall switching at all, or you're gonna add the sub-assembly, the tiny sub-assembly that will enable you to actually start flicking your in-wall switch and toggling the main relay switch. Now, this is a 2-gang switch, which means that tiny thing can serve 2 gangs and connect to 2 individual smart relays, which are single channel. And the way this is installed in your wall, it means it supports no-neutral installations, including 3-way and 4-way configurations for your light switching, which is awesome. And before you start complaining about 3 amp limit for this relay, come on guys, this is for lights. I mean, if you are running 600 watt light in your room, you're doing your lights wrong. Yeah, they try to claim that this is 50% smaller than their products from other companies, but comparing side to side, you'll see that it's not the case, especially stacked against Sonoff Mini or Shelly no-neutral version. But there is a benefit to this approach. First, the installation is super simple. You don't have to have an engineering or electrical degree actually to get this connected. The tiny little thing goes behind your wall switch. It has a dedicated connector to connect your wall switch, which is nice, and then 2 options to connect the cables. By the way, this can connect up to 2 relays and it's clearly labeled, so it's very difficult to make a mistake. The other module has to be installed in a ceiling, so that's a little bit more complex, but then again, everything is labeled, you have enough terminals, and connectivity is super simple. So yeah, I actually like that solution, especially that I have one of my sockets in the bedroom which is very shallow and leaves almost no space to connect anything behind it. And I know I could just take a Sonoff Mini and plug it in the ceiling as well, and that probably would solve my issue. However, well, I do find wiring this so much simple, because you don't have to figure out which wire goes where to make it work. Evvr said to me that they're gonna send me this kit, but they're not going to send me a ZigBee hub. It's not because they don't want to work with me, but they really encourage me to try to connect the device with different configurations, especially with custom coordinators. So I figured out, okay, I'm up for the challenge, I'm going to give it a go. Previously I've reviewed a Tuya Benix Smart Hub, this video there, which is great testing platform for Tuya devices, and it works with ZigBee 3.0, which is exactly what I've got in my hands. And yeah, that connected really quickly. The pairing was, well, uneventful, and after that I was able to toggle the switches straight away. Everything worked out of the box without any complaints. The only thing I should really notice is the fact that in Tuya app I couldn't find any settings to actually select the switch type. I don't know if that was a fluke, but this small sub-assembly was straight away detecting what switch type I had, in my case toggle, but later on, reading in the manual, I discovered that all you have to do is just connect a push button type switch for your lights and toggle it a couple of times, and that's going to be setting this small unit into a push mode. So that's okay, I actually don't mind that as a solution. As everything was working as advertised, I decided to terminate my testing and switch over to custom coordinators. And I have a couple of them, so I tested Sonoff USB dongle, video there, followed by the ZZH from Electrolama, if you want to know more about this coordinator, also in the corner of this video. So I've tested this with ZigBee2MQTT because, that's what I've been asked to do, and I did that on my first day. Initially this device wasn't supported, but by the time I got to the end of this review, they've emailed me saying that they've reached out to the ZigBee2MQTT developer asking them to have the support for this device. And yes, one ZigBee2MQTT update later, and my clunky converter code wasn't really needed because the device is supported by default now, and it just works. The pairing works splendidly, and after a while I was able to toggle the device via ZigBee2MQTT from Node-RED. And I know my code isn't really lavish or impressive, but if you want to add a really nice polished version of controlling a wall switch like that, plus with a bonus of software implemented power meter, then head to this video where I've developed one for Arya, and it should work just fine with this switch as well. After all, it's been made for ZigBee wall switches, right? I haven't really encountered any problems with this, so yeah. But I've promised you that we're going to talk about something even more interesting. If you go to Evvr website and start searching for the products, you'll quickly stumble across Pad S. And do you remember NS Panel, one of my videos a couple of months ago? This one in the corner. It's an awesome touchscreen controller that you can put instead of your wall switch. Well, it turns out that the Evvr has equivalent on steroids. I mean, just look at it, it's really cool. I mean, the resolution is 720 by 720, all driven by, well, A55 Cortex with 2 gigs of RAM. I mean, that specification is just shy of a tablet. On top of that, it's not just the touchscreen interface, because it comes with infrared blaster, speaker, microphone. I think there is a Bluetooth and also illumination sensor with time of flight controls, which means you're gonna have probably really great time with this device and a lot of options to actually interact with it. I honestly can't wait to get my hands on it. So Evvr, you know it's gonna be our next collaboration, right? But so far I've been very optimistic, and I was skirting around one issue. First is, you can't really buy this anywhere. I mean, even if I went to their website and tried to look for a local retailer to get my hands on these switches, well, the only shop I found in Europe was in Sweden, and the prices of these things, oh god, they are expensive. Now, the set will set you back 46 euros. If you translate that to dollars or pounds, it doesn't seem any cheaper either. So those are very expensive devices, which also means that this awesome Pad S going to be expensive as well, because, well, just look at the hardware. I have to say that I really like what they're doing. They're actively reaching out to developers to make sure the device is supported, which is great, especially for stuff that we DIY home automation enthusiasts appreciate. But in order for this device to succeed, they have to meet two conditions. First, it needs to be available for purchase in an easy way. Second, once available, I hope the price is gonna come down as well, because at the end of the day, money is really a deciding factor, and for 46 euros I could get 4 Son of ZigBee switches and save myself a bit of money. If you're interested anyway, in the description of this video you're gonna find 2 links. First, the link to this product so you can go check it out yourself, and the second, that awesome Node-RED dashboard that I've done for in-wall switches with a power meter. If you want to see how I've done that, it's going to be linked in an article linked in the description. As for now, you know, I do not have a posting schedule, so if you want to keep in touch, and if you want to see if I'm gonna get that Pad S for the review, you know how YouTube works, so there's no point of me explaining how subscribing and everything working, so you do that, but pick one of the social media below, follow me there and start a conversation, because that's always interesting. I'll keep you updated via social media. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you pretty soon. Take care. Bye.